My story begins like this. I am Kaito, a poor young man with the dream of becoming a legendary hero and the strongest dungeon explorer. But life is not like a dream. I have been stuck in the first floor of the dungeon for 2 years straight, the lowest rank there is. One day, as I was preparing to deal with the slime in front of me, because I was so poor and desperate, I was even afraid of a small blob of goo. However, the slime suddenly jumped from its place, and I quickly eliminated it with insecticide. After that, I took out the magic core to sell for money. I continued to go deeper into the dungeon and accidentally discovered a yellow slime, a very rare type. People usually believe that defeating one will help level up the slime killer. I started to approach it very slowly so it wouldn't run away, then attacked. The slime flew away. But where can you escape, poor creature? Immediately, I took out a stronger insecticide and eliminated the slime in seconds. But even though I killed a rare slime, my level still didn't increase at all. What a pest, finding a rare slime but getting no benefit at all. Nevertheless, I picked up the slime's magic core, but found a yellow card next to it. Indeed, it was a very high-level servant summoning card. It seems that luck has finally smiled upon me. This card belongs to a Valkyrie maid named Sylphie. After that, I took out my phone and started searching for any information about her, but found nothing. However, because this card belongs to the Valkyrie system, it must be extremely rare. I held the card and decided not to tell anyone that I had found it. Then, I went to sell the magic cores I had collected. I asked the staff, if I find a rare servant card, about how much would it be worth? She replied that items like that are rarely found, but they often cost billions. I was shocked by the huge amount of money I just heard, and kept thinking about that price, all the way home, until I got on the subway. There I met some friends and asked them, "Are you guys not planning to go back to the dungeon with me anymore?" They replied, "No." After my friends and I entered for the first time and were taught a harsh lesson, we will never go back there again. Then I returned home and had dinner with my parents. My mother asked, "Did you go to work today?" I replied, "Yes." She asked again, "What about your studies?" I reassured her, saying, "Don't worry, Mom, everything will be fine." After that, I took a bath and started thinking to myself, should I summon a servant with this card, or should I sell it for money? If I sell it, I can buy everything I've ever dreamed of, this game, this weapon, and many other equipment. In the morning, I woke up early to go to school, but I was very tired because I lacked sleep last night due to overthinking. On the way, I met my friend and started walking with her. My mother asked me, "I saw you came home very late yesterday. Where have you been?" I started to evade the question and didn't want to tell her that I had been in the dungeon. On the way, I met some friends. I pulled them aside and warned them, "Listen up, you guys. Anyone who lets slip even a word in front of her that I went into the dungeon will be beaten up." They obediently replied, "Yes, sir. Your secret will be kept safe." After that, my friends and I continued on and went to class. At this time, I asked my friends, if you had a rare servant card, what would you do with it? They answered without hesitation, "I would definitely sell it. No need to ask." I was convinced by their words. Then the first class began. I was completely unfocused on the lecture. I was busy thinking about what I should do, but when I looked at my friend, I made up my mind. I went to the dungeon and summoned my servant Sylphie. At that moment, a huge surge of energy erupted, and with it, a giant maid appeared. I was truly dazed. The girl hugged me, making me even more terrified. Then the girl disappeared. I looked around but saw nothing. I looked down and saw a small girl. I asked in surprise, "My gosh, what brought you here?" The girl replied, "I am Sylphie, and I am your servant." At that moment, all the dreams and hopes I had painted in my imagination vanished, and I no longer knew what to do. Still, I stood up. Then, Sylphie said to me, "I sense a slime nearby." The girl led me and showed me the slime's location. After that, I decided to test the girl's strength and asked, "Can you destroy it?" The girl replied, "Yes." I said, "All right, show me your skills." Immediately, the girl used her power and unleashed a powerful destructive lightning strike, destroying the slime in seconds. I was truly impressed by the girl's strength, but the girl honestly said to me, "I'm actually hungry." I gave the girl the magic core of the slime, and the girl's strength returned. I thought to myself, if the girl keeps eating the cores of every slime she kills, I won't gain anything, and my collection will be a number. After that, I decided to let the girl show me the slime's location, and I would be the one to kill it. In this way, I could collect more magic cores. I successfully executed my plan and collected a lot of cores. My level also increased, and I received a new title, Slime Slayer. Indeed, it was a simple title, but was there anything better? I took the girl back into the card and went to sell the magic cores. The clerk was shocked by the large quantity I had collected because I had never been able to do that before. After that, I returned home and muttered to myself, because I have a powerful servant, I have to go down to the second floor. At first, I was really scared, but I remembered the person I aspired to become. And then I decided to go down there. The next day, I actually went down to the second floor of the dungeon, and I was extremely terrified. Sylphie asked me, "Why are you so scared?" I tried to pretend not to be scared, but in reality, I almost lost control of myself. Sylphie took my hand and tried to comfort me until my fear disappeared. I calmed down and thanked the girl. At that moment, Sylphie had located a goblin nearby. The girl said to me, "Let's go." She looked to the side, but saw that I had quickly run away from the scene. I said to the girl, "I just remembered I have something to do," but I quickly remembered my dream and my ambition to become the greatest dungeon explorer. So I gathered all my courage, returned to the girl, picked up my wooden sword and said, "Let's go." We both charged towards the goblin, which was sleeping at the time. I was afraid of it and asked Sylphie, "Can you defeat it?" The girl replied, "Yes, leave this to me." She approached it and prepared to use her deadly lightning power, but I stopped her, saying, "Leave it to me, but be ready to intervene if I'm in danger." The girl said, "Yes." I charged at the goblin and attacked it, but unfortunately, the blow missed. The goblin then tried to attack me, but I blocked the blow with my shield and continued to push with all my might, successfully knocking it to the ground. After that, I charged at it and hit it with my wooden sword, but the monster blocked my attack and the sword flew out of my hand. The monster lunged at me and was about to kill me, but I sprayed insecticide on it and temporarily blinded it. Then I charged at it with all my might, but I tripped and accidentally killed it. Of course, I couldn't believe what had just happened. The girl congratulated me on my achievement. Afterwards, my level increased, and I also received the title of Temporary Goblin Slayer. This title is temporary, my friend, because I killed the goblin entirely by accident, as we all saw. I thought to myself in surprise, I've killed thousands of slimes, and my level hasn't changed. But when I killed just one goblin, my level increased. How amazing is that? Anyway, we continued exploring the dungeon and managed to kill a second goblin. Then I asked Sylphie, "Do you know anything about this dungeon?" The girl replied, "No. All I know is to protect you." I said to the girl, "Since you don't know anything about the dungeon, let's explore it together." The girl was very happy and said, "Let's do it." The girl was overjoyed. Then we faced the third goblin. I blocked it with the shield I was carrying, and then asked Sylphie to use her power and defeat it. Indeed, the girl used her legendary lightning power and defeated it. After that, I had to give the girl the goblin's core so she could regain her strength. Then, I went to see the receptionist with the magic cores. The receptionist was truly shocked, because this was the first time I had entered the second floor and killed 4 goblins at once. I said to her, "Don't be shocked. It was just luck, nothing more." After that, I went home and slept all day. The next morning, I went to school, staggering left and right like a drunkard due to extreme fatigue. My friend asked, "What's wrong? Are you sad or sick?" I avoided answering and told her I had been training to achieve a strong and attractive physique. Of course, I was lying to her because I didn't want her to know I was going into the dungeon. We arrived at the school, and there I told my friends that I had killed a goblin on the second floor. My friends didn't believe that I had actually done it. I told them that this had boosted my confidence and that life was going great. Afterward, I returned to the dungeon and continued to kill goblins, repeating this task day after day until my level increased to level 10. I was, of course, very happy with this accomplishment, so I took Sylphie's hand and said, "I'm very happy to be working with you." The girl was also happy with my words and said, "I'm very happy too." At that moment, a skeleton appeared before us. Sylphie immediately activated a barrier to protect me. I also hit the skeleton with the club I was carrying, but contrary to expectations, it blocked the attack. Then, I asked Sylphie to use her lightning spells. The girl cast the attack and easily destroyed the skeleton. I took its core. It was red and different from normal cores. The girl, of course, was hungry, so I gave her this rare core to eat. The girl found it sweeter than normal cores and was very happy with it. Anyway, I later asked the staff about the red magic core. She told me it was very rare and cost about 2 million yen. I was shocked and regretted giving Sylphie that magic core. Afterward, I went home and muttered to myself, It's okay. Sylvie is helping me, and she deserves this reward. I also considered going down to the 3rd floor, but I was very scared because the monsters on the 3rd floor usually appear in groups. The next day I went to the dungeon and told Sylvie, "For this period of time, I will fight alone." The girl asked in surprise, "Why, Master? Did I disappoint you in any way?" I replied, "No, but I want to rely on myself so I can go down to the 3rd floor. At this rate, I will never be able to do it because I rely on you too much." I also told the girl that I considered her my little sister and spoiled her. The girl was very happy with this conversation and said to me, "Okay, it's all right." At that moment, a goblin appeared before us, and I decided to face it alone, and I immediately regretted it. I was defeated miserably and had to spend a lot of money to treat myself. Therefore, I had to go back to killing slimes once more to collect magic cores to raise Sylvie for when we go to the 3rd floor. Indeed, I did this and collected many magic cores, and now I am ready to go to the 3rd floor. But suddenly, Sylvie sensed a silver slime nearby. I rushed to attack it, but it slipped away. Afterward, Sylvie finished it off with a lightning strike. I found a rare card similar to the last time, but this time it was for a demon. At first, I hesitated whether to summon her, but I finally decided to summon her. Then, a legendary fiery energy appeared, and with it, a devil emerged. The devil then disappeared, and I realized she would be a small girl like Sylvie. Indeed, as I expected, the devil also appeared in the form of a small girl. I asked the girl her name, and she replied, "My name is Lucilia." Yes, she was the devil on the silver card. Of course, my hopes were dashed for the second time when I saw her, as I had expected her to be a beautiful adult woman. Nevertheless, the girl started scolding me and said I was just a useless idiot. Sylvie immediately intervened and said to the girl, "You're not allowed to speak to your master like that." Then I introduced the girl to Sylvie, and Lucilia understood that Sylvie was a Valkyrie warrior. Then Lucilia, who was shameless, said to me, "I'm hungry." I asked her, "What did you do to get hungry?" Just then, Sylvie sensed a slime nearby, and Lucilia said to us, "Leave the food to me." The girl summoned her weapon and unleashed a legendary fiery attack that completely destroyed it. Oh wow, it seems this girl's power is truly extraordinary. I took a magic core and gave it to her, and she immediately asked for another one. I asked the girl, "Are you teasing me? This girl is truly very greedy." Then I realized that the girl had another skill besides the one she had just used, so I asked her to use it. At first she didn't want to, but I said, "If you use it, I'll give you a second magic core." The girl then agreed and used her skill on a goblin. Surprisingly, this skill was incredibly powerful, as it melted the goblin and made it evaporate in seconds. What kind of superpower is this? I was shocked by the girl's strength, and Sylvie was also shocked. After that, I fed Lucilia the goblin's magic core, and she found it tastier than the slime's magic core. The girl then realized that the stronger the monster, the tastier its core would be. Lucilia excitedly wanted to go down to the 3rd floor because there were stronger, and thus tastier, monsters there. However, I stopped her, informing her that the monsters on the 3rd floor attack in groups, so I needed to buy some equipment and prepare everything. I also reminded her that she was still sleepy. I decided to leave now and return tomorrow to go to the 3rd floor. The next day, I arrived at the dungeon, and we went to the 3rd floor. I had bought a new weapon and had set aside money specifically for today. We immediately encountered 2 monsters. I tried to aim at them, but I completely missed. The 2 monsters noticed us and attacked, but Lucilia destroyed them with a devastating fiery attack. I had to give the girl the monster's magic core, and as usual she asked for another one, but I refused to give her any more. Then, a large group of goblins appeared and attacked us. I asked Lucilia to destroy them with her fire, and she did, destroying one of them. The second boar charged at me, and I aimed precisely, shooting it in the eye. The monster became enraged and charged at me, but I shot it one more time and finished it off. After that, my level increased and reached level 11. After that, I returned home and became confused about what to do because the demon was devouring all the magic cores I had collected. Regardless, we returned to the dungeon and continued to kill monsters one after another. I fed both of them magic cores, and as usual, Lucilia asked for more. This time I agreed and gave the girl a core without hesitation, but I noticed Sylvie acting strangely. I asked the girl, "Is something bothering you?" She looked ashamed and seemed to want something, but was too shy to ask. I returned home and kept thinking about Sylvie's behavior. I suddenly thought that the girl might be jealous of Lucilia, and I started thinking about the scale of the disaster that could occur if a problem arose between them. I stayed up all night thinking about the issue, to the point where my friend noticed my extreme fatigue when she met me in the morning. After that, I went to the dungeon and summoned Sylphie by myself. I asked the girl, "You don't like Lucilia, do you?" She replied, "No, I don't hate her. Actually, she is kind and considerate to me." I said to the girl, "Then, what is bothering you? You are very important to me, and if something is making you sad, you must tell me." The girl then said, "To be honest, you are very considerate to Lucilia, and when she asked for magic cores, you gave them to her immediately, but I was too shy to ask, even though I also wanted them." At that moment, I understood everything and realized the girl was jealous of Lucilia. I said to the girl, "All right, don't be sad anymore. From now on, I will treat both of you exactly the same." After that, Sylphie annihilated a forest boar with her lightning power, and her level increased and reached level 2. After that, we encountered firewolves. Sylphie used her newfound power, attacked with a lightning bolt, and annihilated 3 of them at once. What a great achievement! The remaining boar charged at us, so Sylphie activated her magic barrier. Lucilia wanted to kill it, but I finished it off with my weapon. I gave magic cores to Sylphie and didn't give any to Lucilia because she didn't do anything worthy of a reward that day. Surprisingly, Sylphie asked me for a second core because she was still hungry. After that, I went to sell the magic cores. The clerk noticed that I wasn't bringing back large quantities during this period, which was naturally because I was feeding the 2 girls all the cores I collected, so I didn't have many left. I immediately said to her, "I apologize, I'm a bit tired. I promise I will collect more in the future." After that, I was forced to go down to the dungeon once more to kill slimes. This was to collect more magic cores to feed Sylphie and Lucilia. While we were in the dungeon, I found a rare slime, which made me very happy. I ordered Sylphie and Lucilia to eliminate it, and the 2 girls successfully carried out the order, ending its existence with a dual attack. I came to see what I would get from the slime this time, and I found a magic orb. I was overjoyed and immediately broke it to get the magic skill inside. Indeed, I acquired a water skill, so I decided to test it on the dog in front of me. I ordered Sylphie to create a barrier and told Lucilia to prepare for any emergency. Sylphie activated the barrier, and I attacked the dog with a water attack, but unfortunately the attack was weak and had no effect on the undead creature. The creature then lunged at us, but Lucilia killed it. I was very sad, my friend, because my skill turned out to be weak and useless. But I want to tell you, wait a moment, because this skill will become super powerful. Sylphie then said to me, "Don't be sad. You just need to practice a little, and you will become stronger." After that, I returned home, and on the way, I met my friend and walked with her. The next day, I went to the dungeon and continued to train my new skill. I was indeed able to control it well, but I was very tired from practicing. I returned home, and due to extreme fatigue, I fell asleep for a few seconds and entered childhood memories. I remembered the hero I aspired to become. Waking up, I decided to continue training and never give up. Indeed, I went to the dungeon and continued to hone my skills and master them better. But honing this skill requires a lot of effort, unfortunately. Regardless, I continued to practice, and this time I was able to change the shape of the orb into a square and also a triangle. How wonderful is that? But I couldn't stand all this practice, so I fainted. The next day, I overslept in class due to excessive fatigue from overtraining, and my friends started asking why I was sleeping through class. I told them I was practicing a new skill and would soon master it. After that, I went to the dungeon and used my new skill on a goblin. Indeed, I made the goblin unable to breathe, and as a result, the goblin died. After that, I noticed that my level did not increase during this period. I spent too much time on the 3rd floor, so my level remained the same. After that, I decided to go down to the 4th floor to increase my level. But first, I bought the set of equipment I had long dreamed of. The benefit of this set is that it will protect me from any arrows shot at me. Conversely, if I were hit by an arrow without it, I would surely die. I proudly showed off the equipment in front of the 2 girls, but Lucilia pulled Sylphie and moved away from me. Then we went to the 4th floor. Sylphie said she felt something dangerous there, and at that moment, the monster appeared, a giant spider. The 2 girls were terrified of it, so they finished it off and eliminated all the monsters on the 4th floor. Sylphie then said to me, "Please take us out of here." I replied, "Don't worry. You 2 have already eliminated all the monsters on this floor." Therefore, I was able to collect a large amount of magic cores. The 2 girls didn't want to eat them because they felt disgusted, but they had to eat them because they were too hungry. Next, we went down to the 5th floor, where we encountered strange creatures. I tried to eliminate them with my weapon, but the arrows had no effect on them. After that, the creatures attacked me, but Sylphie activated her shield and protected me. I asked Sylphie to eliminate them. She indeed did so and wiped them out in an instant. I wanted to feed the girl insect cores, but she refused. After that, we continued our journey in the dungeon. Sylphie sensed something strange and told me that she felt magic in this place. I asked Lucilia, "Do you feel anything?" She replied, "No, I don't feel anything." Sylphie then said, "Leave this to me." She used her lightning power and broke through the wall. Right then, we found a hidden dungeon behind the wall. We went inside and I told them, "Be careful, there might be traps here." Before I could finish speaking, Lucilia accidentally stepped on a trap. She was almost hit by an arrow, but I intervened and protected her. We then continued walking, and the foolish girl stepped on another trap. I tried to save the girl a second time, but I also fell into a trap and was hit by lightning. However, I was not injured, and we continued walking until we reached a huge gate. I tried to open it but couldn't. I wanted to turn back, but Sylphie used her lightning power and broke through the gate. We went inside where we found a giant ghoul and a giant slime. Then, I asked the two girls to eliminate them with their great power. The two girls indeed did so, but the monster was completely unaffected. It immediately charged at us, but Sylphie activated her shield and protected us. I thought, since magic attacks have no effect on it, I'll try my weapon. Indeed, I shot it with an arrow, and the weapon had an effect on it. Then, I continued to shoot it with multiple arrows, but the monster hit the shield and tried to break it. Unfortunately, I ran out of arrows. I decided to use my new magic, and I did so, thanks to the bracelet that powered up the magic. Water turned into ice, and I struck the monster with it. The monster was indeed affected by my attacks. After that, I changed the form of the magic, making it resemble an arrow, and attacked the monster with it. I managed to eliminate it. Now only the slime remained. Lucilia attacked it, but the monster blocked her attack and was about to hit her if I hadn't intervened, and protected her at the last second. I asked Sylphie to use her new power. Indeed, she did so, summoning the god of death and completely destroying the monster with a single blow. However, the monster was not dead yet, so I attacked it with insecticide. Right then, Sylphie also activated her shield, and I continued to spray insecticide on it. Finally, the monster died. Then, I found a rare red gem and a magic dagger. I was very happy and went to sell them. The clerk asked me, "What do you think about joining the upcoming event?" This event is for adventurers to form teams to explore the 7th floor. I told her yes, I want to join this event. Then, I arrived at the event venue and met the team I would join. Let's get to know these girls. The girl in the middle is named Airi, the girl on the right is Miku, and the wonderful girl on the left is Hikari. Then, they held hands and moved to the 7th floor via a teleporter. Before they entered, I went to a shop and bought some supplies. I was surprised that the girls didn't buy anything. I asked them, "Aren't you going to buy anything?" They replied, "We have magic bags, and we don't need anything." Then we learned that Airi was level 18, while Hikari and Miku were level 15. Although Hikari was level 15, she possessed a large amount of mana. While they were talking, a rock monster appeared before them. The girl Airi rushed towards it and continued to attack with strong blows, and finally, she easily defeated it. I was amazed by her power. Before the girl could catch her breath, a second monster appeared heading towards them. I asked Hikari to use her power. The girl indeed did so, freezing the monster in place. Miku also summoned her monster, which was a cat, and continued to attack the monster with rapid strikes. Hikari seized the opportunity and struck the monster with a fire attack that completely melted it. I also rushed in and finished it off. Of course, our friend, yours truly, was impressed by their great strength and excellent teamwork, but the problem wasn't over yet. A second monster appeared, looking very strong. The girl Airi attacked it with all her might, but this monster was very tough. Hikari attacked it with a fire attack, and Miku attacked it with her cat, but the cat was injured, which made Miku sad. Then I said, "Now there is no other solution but to summon Sylphie and Lucilia." I prepared to take out their cards, but just then, the magic dagger fell out of my pocket. I picked it up and decided to try it on this monster. I asked Hikari to immobilize the monster with her power, and I asked Eri to distract it so I could sneak attack. The two girls indeed did so. I sneak attacked the monster from behind and finished it off. The girls were naturally impressed by my strength, and they asked, "You are very strong, so why did you act differently before?" Then, they sat together and drank tea. Eri then invited me to join their group. I said, "I'll think about it for a bit and call you with my decision." The girls asked me, "Don't you want to join us?" I told them, "No, it's not like that, but I just want to think about it for a bit." They said to me, "Okay, that's fine." Then, I went to the basement and talked with Sylphie and Lucilia, but the two girls were angry that I didn't summon them today. I tried to get their opinion about joining the group, but the girls refused. They said to me, "We don't need to join anyone. We can go our own way." Lucilia was also upset with me for indulging Sylphie without indulging her. Indeed, it's the jealousy of girls that we all know. After that, I decided to indulge her and called her Lou instead of Lucilia. She was happy with this and pulled Sylphie along. I said, "Well, what about the topic of the group?" But the two girls paid no attention to me. After that, I met my friend, and she invited me to hang out together, which I immediately agreed to. Finally, I had someone to date. My friends came to toast me, saying, "Jealous friend, you're old enough now and going on romantic dates." After that, I went out with my friend, and we had a wonderful time together. Admiration was evident in their eyes. In other words, she loved me, and I loved her. She said she wanted to go to a specific place. We did indeed arrive at that location. She asked me, "The dungeon is near, isn't it?" I replied, "Yes." She said, "It's a shame my father promised to have dinner with me, but he hasn't returned since that day." I understood that my friend was worried about me, but I was still determined that one day I would become a hero and make her proud of me. Later we learned that my friend's father was the hero I aspired to become one day. The girl felt she was bothering me, so she smiled and said to me, "Let's go home." The next day, I went to the dungeon and practiced a new skill. I combined water magic with a magic dagger and created an ice sword. After that, I rushed into the stone monster and finished it with a single blow. Lucilia then asked me, "Are you doing this to impress some girl, aren't you?" I asked her, "How did you know?" She said, "It's just a feeling, master." The two girls then learned that the group I wanted to join consisted of 3 girls. Therefore, they asked me if I didn't impress them. Lucilia said, "You are stingy and don't want to give us magic." But Sylphie told me that she would support me in any decision I made. I was very happy with her words, and the 2 girls finally agreed to let me join the group I wanted. After that, they asked me the reason for joining this group, and I honestly told them that I wanted to learn from them and develop myself further. Then I went home and wanted to talk to Eri, but I was worried, my friend. At that moment, my friend, by the way, named Haruraka, called me. I asked her how to relieve stress. She told me that her father often told her to move her hips like this, and she would relieve stress. I told her I got it and hung up. After that, I did what Haruka said. I truly relieved stress and then called the girl. I informed her that I had decided to join them. She said okay, and they agreed to meet at the dungeon over the weekend. They did indeed arrive at the dungeon. This time, I'm the one giving the orders, saying I'll deal with the 2 on the right, and you guys handle the 2 on the left. Hikari, the girl, really used her strength and incapacitated the monsters there. I charged at one monster and finished it with one blow. The second one attacked me, but I dodged it with lightning speed, charged at it, and finished it with just one blow. Miku's cat also killed the third monster, and Irie easily finished the fourth one. After that, the girl started praising me. I felt extremely embarrassed because I was hungry and hadn't eaten anything since morning. I decided to leave immediately. I returned home, and the next day they arrived at the 8th floor of the underground labyrinth. I brought a life jacket because the 8th floor consisted of swamps. The girls were surprised to see me wearing such a jacket, but I told them it wasn't an ordinary life jacket. It also had the ability to resist magic attacks. They continued to walk on the 8th floor. I was surprised that Miku's cat could pinpoint the monster's location. They arrived at the monster's location, and it emerged from the lake and attacked me. This attack melted the life jacket, which made me very happy. I was sad about this and prepared to attack it, but I saw that it was already dead. Yes, Miku was the one who did it. I was surprised that she had mastered the use of the weapon I gave her. Next, they faced many monsters and ran away from them, but a squid grabbed me and threw me into the lake. I started screaming, saying, "Help me, I'm dying." I told him, "Don't worry. The water you're in isn't deep." My face turned red then, and I felt extremely ashamed. After that, they faced swordfish and continued to kill them. but the number of fish was very large and endless. I also ran out of bullets, so I decided to use my ice sword. I continued to kill fish left and right until I ran out of mana, and I fainted. I woke up and found that my mana had returned. Because Irie was carrying a mana recovery potion while they were sitting safely, Miku's cats sensed a dangerous monster approaching them. Everyone prepared to face it, and surprisingly it was a dragon. Everyone was horrified because the dragon was not supposed to be on this floor. They decided to run away quickly, but the entrance was blocked by the dragon. Now they had no choice but to defeat this dragon. I told Hikari to incapacitate it with her power, and Miku also attacked it with her cat. As for Eri, she would try to distract its attention so I could sneak around and ambush it. Indeed, they started executing the plan. Hikari used her strength, but unfortunately, she couldn't incapacitate it because it was too big. Then, I told them to attack it while I sneaked around and stabbed it with my sword. Unfortunately, the stab had no effect and the monster attacked me. I attacked the monster, but it threw me far away and threw me into the lake. The girl tried to get up, but couldn't, and she fainted. I arrived to check on her and then realized I had no other choice but to summon Sylphie and Lucilia. I summoned both and asked them to eliminate this monster. The two girls then used their destructive power and launched a deadly dual attack. The monster couldn't withstand all that energy and died instantly. After that, the girls became acquainted with Sylphie and Lucilia. I apologized to them for hiding Sylphie and Lucilia's existence. Afterwards, the group departed. I had a brief conversation with Eri, who informed me that her university was holding an event and I should attend. It turns out she studies at Yuka Academy. After that, I went to my class and asked Haruka to come along. She agreed, and they decided to go to the event together. I picked her up from her home and was truly impressed by her beauty. My friend, she is breathtaking. After that, they took the subway and I sat away from her, feeling embarrassed. Haruka asked me to come closer. It's amazing. It seems the girl's heart has begun to soften. She said to me, "Thank you for inviting me to the academy." I replied, "Well, if I hadn't invited you, would you have come?" She said to me, "Not necessarily, but coming together is definitely better." I said, "Yes, you're right." Then I looked ahead and saw my silly friends walking with them. I asked them, "What brought you here? Didn't you say you weren't coming?" They replied, "Don't worry, my friend, we won't bother you. We're just making you tired." Then they arrived at Yuka Academy. What a surprise. The university was very beautiful in design, construction, and everything. The boys were impressed by the academy's beauty and wished they could study there. After graduating from high school, they went inside, and while they were walking, Haruka said they would attend this academy in 2 years. The boy then fell into his imagination, envisioning a romantic scene with Haruka. It was a wonderful fantasy. Anyway, they arrived at Irie's place, and I introduced her to my friends and Haruka. I asked him, "Is this your girlfriend?" He replied, "No, we are just friends, nothing more, nothing less." Irie was delighted to know she wasn't his girlfriend. It seems she also likes him, my friend. The boys then gave them a tour of the place, and they had a wonderful time. They sat outside for a while, and Haruka said to me, "Let's continue to this place and sit during break time." He, of course, said yes, and thought to himself, "I must try my best to get into the academy with Haruka." Then Miku and Hikari joined them, and I introduced everyone. Miku asked him, "Is this girl your girlfriend?" He replied, "No, she is my friend and classmate." Friends, what is this? Every girl who came by asked him, "Is that your girlfriend? Does every girl like him, or am I imagining things?" Regardless, Eri arrived and said to them, "Why don't we go have lunch together? I invite you." Everyone was delighted, and they had lunch together. After eating, my friend and I went to get fruit juice. My friends took the opportunity to talk to the girls. They are mischievous boys, but honestly, they have a point. Then I bring fruit juice, and everything is perfect. Later, we see them going down the stairs and Hikari slips, but I move quickly and save her miraculously. What a skill. The boy suddenly turns into a ninja. Just then, someone on the court kicks the ball with all their might. It flies far and heads towards them. Eri tries to catch it but fails, and the ball is about to hit Miku's face, but I jump into the air and score a beautiful goal with a bicycle kick. Oh, wow. Did he transform in front of the girls? Later, Irie takes them to the practice room. There we saw her talent. Everyone applauded her. The girl was happy to see me. Therefore, we can say that the girl has officially fallen in love with him. Haruka realizes this and feels extremely sad. "I truly feel sorry for you, girl." Then, the boys leave, and Irie and the other girls advance. My friends got something from this outing. Yes, they got the number of the beautiful girl. Eri then thanks me for the wonderful time they had together, and he also thanks her. They shake hands, and at that moment Miku and Hikari feel uncomfortable because she is holding his hand. Haruka also feels uncomfortable, but she hides it. Later, they take the subway and go home. I'm walking with Haruka on the way. She later asks me, "Of them, who do you love?" I reply, "I love you." And I was about to tell her that I love her, but I couldn't. At that moment, the girl looks sad and jealous because of me. Haruka arrives home and wishes me good night, then leaves. After that, I take a hot bath and say, "What will we do with Sylphie and Lucilia now?" They must be angry, because I didn't summon them today. The next day, I go to the dungeon and collect magic cores to appease Sylphie and Lucilia, who are very angry because I ignored them yesterday. I tell them, "I will give each of you 3 magic cores to compensate for what happened yesterday." Lucilia says, "Only 3? No, I want 100. Just then, I see a rare slime behind them, so I ask them to defeat it. But the 2 girls don't pay attention to me. However, Lucilia kills it. Sylphie then says, "Rare? What's our reward?" I reply, 10 magic cores for each of you. Is that okay? They say, "Okay, master." Later, I go to receive the reward from the rare slime, which is a pair of gloves, but not ordinary gloves. They are psychic gloves. These gloves provide spiritual energy based on the wearer's mana points. I put on the gloves and decide to test them on the water. I notice that an unseen force is moving the water. I say, this power might work on humans, but I don't think it will work on monsters. An idea then comes to my mind to use this power along with my water magic. With this, I learned a new skill. Next, Eri and her group arrive at the destination, and Sylphie and Lucilia are completely unable to bear them, my friend. Then, everyone enters the attic, their first time here. Sylphie tells Kaito that there is a very dangerous monster ahead of them. I want to retreat because I won't be able to face a monster with this much power, but Lucilia tells me, "Don't be afraid. If the monster attacks you, I'll destroy it myself." After that, the group arrived at the monster, and Lucilia was shocked when she first saw it. The girl said, "What brought a monster this powerful to the attic?" Eri then realized they had to retreat. I said to her, "Let's go back." "But can he fight?" "Poor guy." The monster noticed him and wouldn't leave him alone. Sylphie immediately activated the magic barrier, and Hikari incapacitated the monster on the spot. Lucilia attacked it with her half-light, but unfortunately, her attack was weak and had no effect on it. The monster then breathed fire and attacked them. Although the barrier protected them, they still felt intense heat. Lucilia then launched a second attack, and Miku also attacked, but the monster was unaffected by anything. Then I asked Lucilia to aim for its stomach. The girl did so, but the attack didn't affect it much. So I asked Sylphie to use her magic spear. The girl attacked it with her magic spear and Lucilia with fire, and the battle became intense. The rest of the group also attacked it. Sylphie and Lucilia unleashed a combined attack, and finally, after a struggle, they defeated it. The group was very happy that they managed to defeat such a powerful monster. But their joy was short-lived as a demon appeared. It turned out to be the one controlling the monster they had just defeated. It attacked them with dark magic, but the barrier protected them. The demon drew out its sword and tried to break the barrier, but it failed. I was shocked by its speed. I couldn't see it when it attacked a moment ago. Then, the group attacked it with a series of attacks from all sides, but it was completely unaffected. Sylphie and Lucilia attacked with a combined attack, but it also had no effect on it. The demon then lunged at Kaito and prepared to finish him, but Eri intervened at the last second and protected him. The demon then hit her, pinning her to the wall. I took a magic potion and healed myself. I shared a plan with Miku and the girl succeeded. The girl distracted the demon, and I attacked it from behind with a magic dagger. The demon was finally affected. I was happy to have defeated it. But do you think it was that easy? No. The demon used dark magic and healed itself. In the blink of an eye, it had knocked the entire team to the ground. Sylphie rushed to attack it, but it blocked her attacks and threw her away. Lucilia then said to me, "Run away from here quickly and leave me to deal with it." But unfortunately, she couldn't defeat it, and the demon also threw her at me. Now, they only have one option. Yes, that is for Lucilia to absorb my energy and unleash her true power. The girl said to me, "I can't do that. That is dangerous for you, and you might die." But I told the girl, "I trust you, Lucilia, and don't worry, I won't die." Lucilia immediately agreed, activating her skills and returning to her true size. Well, she wasn't at her maximum power, but that was enough. The demon attacked her with dark magic, but she was not affected. She told it, "A low-level demon like you, your magic attacks won't affect me." She unleashed a powerful magic attack that blew it away literally. Afterwards, I went to check the loot I had received. I found a large blue core, and I also found the body of the demon we defeated, named Beller. I pondered whether to summon him or sell him, but Lucilia told me to sell him without hesitation. I decided to summon him, and of course, just like last time, my friend, the demon turned out to be a small child. I complained and said I wish I had sold him. Regardless, the group went to the staff to sell the core of the monster they had slain. The staff was shocked that they were able to defeat such a strong monster and informed them that the core was worth 24 million yen. I was truly stunned by that figure and asked the staff to divide the money equally among them. The next day, I went to the dungeon and summoned the demon Bellar. I told him, "I want you to show me the skills you have." He replied, "Sure, but I have a small request. Truthfully, I need a weapon. As I am a warrior type, I will need a weapon to be able to fight." Afterwards, I gave him a magic dagger, but the demon said he wanted a sword. I told him, "Just hold this weapon for now until I get you the sword you want." Indeed, the demon took the weapon and attacked a goblin, destroying it with ease. I was, of course, impressed by his strength, but Lucilia told him, "You are just a weak demon, and your movements are very slow." He replied, "My movements are slow because I am still level 1, and when I level up, my speed will surely increase." Beller then begged me to keep him in the party, and I agreed. Afterwards, the group decided to test their strength after their level had increased. They started with Hikari, who used her magic power and froze the monster in a second. Immediately, I rushed at it at lightning speed and finished it with a single blow. Truly amazing. It seems these young people will become very powerful in the future. Next, it was Miku's turn, who annihilated 3 monsters at once. Afterwards, they found a group of goblins approaching them. Sylphie used her new power, which was a song called Valkyrie. This song allowed them to unleash their true potential. Indeed, the girls started singing, and they saw the goblins slow down. I was able to destroy them with ease, as did Sylphie. As for the new demon, he just kept listening to Sylphie's wonderful singing and didn't focus on the battle. Afterwards, I gave him the sword he wanted, and Beller thanked me very much for the precious gift. He said to himself, "Let me see what I will do to the goblin horde now." He rushed into the goblin horde and annihilated them one by one with ease. Well, this is true power. As soon as I saw Bar's sword skills, I asked him to train me. But he said to himself, "If you want to start now, I am ready," I replied. "Unfortunately, it won't be possible now. I want to go home early today because I have some homework to do." The next day, the boys came to Ari's house to study with her. They went in and greeted her. The girl then began to explain what they didn't understand. Anyway, Haruka came home and wished me a good night, then left. After that, I took a hot bath and said, "What should I do with Sylphie and Lucilia now? They must be angry because I didn't summon them today." The next day, I went to the dungeon and collected magic stones to appease Sylphie and Lucilia, who were very angry because I didn't care about them all day yesterday. I said to them, "I will give each of you 3 magic stones to compensate for what happened yesterday." Lucilia said, "Only 3? No, I want 100. At that moment, I saw a rare slime standing behind them, so I asked them to annihilate it, but the 2 girls didn't pay any attention to me. But Lucilia killed it. Sylphie then said, "Ha, what's our reward?" I replied, 10 magic stones for each of you. Is that okay?" They said, "Yes, master." After that, I received the reward from the rare slime, which was a pair of gloves, but not ordinary gloves. They were psychic gloves. These gloves provided an invisible energy that depended on the wearer's mana points. I put on the gloves and decided to test them on the water surface. I saw that an invisible force was moving the water surface. I said, "This power can be useful to humans, but I don't think it is useful to monsters." An idea then popped into my head to use this power with my water magic. Therefore, Kaito learned a new skill. After that, Airi and her group arrived, and Sylphie and Lucilia were completely unable to endure them, my friend. After that, everyone went to the 10th floor, their first time there. I asked Sylphie to use the Valkyrie song. Indeed, the girl used the song, and the rest of the group also used their abilities, and the battle became intense. Finally, they defeated the monsters on the 10th floor with ease. They continued walking, but suddenly Hikari felt a sharp pain in her chest, collapsed on the ground, and bled from her mouth. No one knew what was happening to her. After that, she was taken to the hospital and her condition stabilized. Ayu and Ayuri said to Miku, "Let's go. She's fine." But Miku said to them, "No, I'm not leaving here. I will stay by her side." I told her that she had taken a good dose of medicine and it would heal her, so she didn't need to stay, she replied. Such medicine cannot cure Hikari's illness. Hikari is suffering from a serious illness? Certainly, my friend. Meanwhile, the girl's parents arrived to check on their daughter. Miku said to them, "I'm sorry for letting all of this happen again." Her father said to her, "Don't apologize. Instead, thank you and all of you for making Hikari happy." Miku couldn't take it anymore and ran away from there. I asked for her father's permission and went to find her. At that time, the girl was sitting alone, recalling all the beautiful moments she had experienced with Hikari. She remembered when they often played together, and that she always smiled. She also remembered the day Hikari suddenly fell and was taken to the hospital. At that time, her parents came and informed Miku about her condition. Returning to the present, I asked Miku, "So you knew about Hikari's illness from the beginning? Why did you hide such a thing from us? And what illness does she have?" Her father then came and told them everything. He informed them that the illness she had caused the gradual failure of all the body's organs over time, Irie said, but she didn't look sad. Miku then told her that it was due to the medicine she was taking, and also due to her leveling up in the dungeon, which helped maintain her strength. Her father was shocked at that time, and told them that she told us that you were having a good time in the park. Miku apologized to him for making her do such a dangerous thing. He said to her, "You don't have to apologize every time. I'm very happy that Hikari has a loyal friend like you." But because she was ill, what made her go into the dungeon, my friend? To find out why, let's go back to a flashback, specifically when Miku was scrolling through her phone. She then accidentally found news about the elixir of life. This elixir of life, my friend, has the ability to cure any illness, no matter what it is. But this kind of medicine only exists in dungeons. That's why the girl decided to go into the dungeon and find it to cure her friend. Hikari wanted to go into the dungeon with her, but Miku refused because the dungeon is a very dangerous place. After many pleas, the girl agreed to let her in, and after that, we saw how good-hearted Hikari was. Despite being ill, she still thought about helping others. She wanted to find the elixir of life and help all those who suffer from the same illness as her or any other serious illness. Indeed, she is a good-hearted girl, so we now know why she went into the dungeon. Returning to the present, Miku apologized to me and Eri for keeping this a secret. Eri said to her, "If I were in your place, I would have done the same, so don't blame yourself too much." After that, the group of young people decided that they needed to go deeper into the dungeon to find the elixir of life and cure their friend. The next day, they returned to the dungeon. This time they went down to the 10th floor and quickly encountered 3 monsters. I asked Sylphie to sing the Valkyrie song, and she began. The rest of the group joined in. Miku and her familiar killed the first monster. Eri easily took down the second, and Bailey finished off the third. What incredible power! While they were resting, a monster suddenly jumped from the ground and snatched me. Lucilia quickly tried to burn it with fire, but Sylphie stopped her, yelling that I would die too, but Sylphie quickly saved me with her new skill, causing the monster to release me. Billiard then attacked the monster and tore it to pieces in seconds. Lucilia was really angry at Ballier for stealing all the attention. I was very happy and grateful to Bellier for saving me. Next, they visited Hikari in the hospital and told her everything. When they left, Miku started crying because she was so sad for her friend. In the car, Irie said to me, "I want to become a hero who can protect the people I love." I felt like I had heard those words somewhere before, but I couldn't remember where. I was on my way home when Haruka called me. At that moment, I remembered where I had heard those words. Yes, he heard them from Haruka's father. I quickly picked up the phone and said to her, "I'll talk to you later." He rushed back to the dungeon to find the fastest medicine possible. He returned home, and Haruka saw him return. I looked extremely tired. After a quick bath, my mom said, "You've been working too late lately. Don't let yourself get exhausted and you need to study." I said, "It's okay, Mom. Everything has been resolved." The next morning, I arrived at school late due to exhaustion. The school reprimanded me, and I sat down. My friends, who were going to visit Hikari with a gift from Haruka, found me. They asked, "Aren't you coming with us?" I said, "No, I'm going to the dungeon." and left. The boys visited Hikari and played games with her. She is a super expert at every game, but she suddenly coughed, so they let her rest. She thanked them for Haruka's gift, but she was sad that Haruka had not visited her. The boys tried to hide the reason, but Hikari realized that Commander Katsuragi was Katsu's father. This was because Hikari's father had gone missing in the dungeon when she was young. Hikari said to them, if he just went missing, he might still be alive. Therefore, I will explore the dungeon until I find my father. Haruka could then return to the park. She is truly a good-hearted girl. Even when she is sick, she thinks of others. I went to see my friend and sat down to talk with her. I said to her, I'm sorry. I never considered your feelings. She asked me what happened to you. I said to her, I almost died and I was so scared. This made me understand Hikari's feelings every time she went into the dungeon, and your feelings when you worried about me. Your father is my hero. I want to be like him. He achieved a lot of fame, but when he disappeared in the dungeon, some people criticized him for not being compassionate. I saw you cry when people criticized your father, but I couldn't do anything. That's why I wanted to become a hero like him, so everyone would know that Katsuragi is a true hero. But I'm sorry. I can't go back there. I don't have enough courage to continue this path. But she told me, no, you are wrong. You did all of that for me. And that made me happy. But now it's different. You are doing this for Hikari. My father always told me what a true hero means. A true hero protects others and sacrifices themselves for others. To become a hero means to do everything possible for others. And you are a hero, you know. Hikari's hero. And my hero too. Honestly, I was afraid to let you go into the dungeon, but I knew I would regret it if I stopped you. And you would surely regret it too. So please, save Hikari, hero. Then I said to her, but I don't know what to do. I don't know how deep into the dungeon I need to go to find the potion, and I have no idea what kind of monster is in there. She told me, just do what you can and everything will be as you wish. The boy regained hope. He took her hand and thanked her. She also took his hand and said, I just want you to promise me one thing. No matter how deep into the dungeon you go, promise me you'll come back safe. I said, okay. And then came a truly wonderful scene. The next day, I told my friends that they were going to hunt slimes. But how will we find it there? They asked. We didn't find the potion on the 10th floor, so how are we going to find it on the 1st floor? I explained that the floor doesn't matter when it comes to rare rewards. For example, I found all my rare items on the 1st floor, like Sylphie, Lucilia, and the magic dagger. I didn't find anything like that on the highest floor I reached, so I was wrong to look on the 1st floor. Honestly, if it were me, I would do the same. My party and my 2 simple friends continue to kill slimes until they are exhausted. I told them, you worked hard today, but sadly they know that ordinary slimes don't drop rare items. But will everything be okay? Of course not. Suddenly, Sylphie sensed something and told me and the others gathered around her. And surprisingly, it's a rare slime. Miku wanted to attack, but I stopped her. I told everyone, we can't let it get away. If we let it escape, we don't know when we'll find another one. The party immediately surrounded it, attacking it from all sides. Yes, the mouse was defeated. Lucilia and Sylphie attacked it, and the boys thought it was dead, but the slime was still alive and trying to escape. But where could the poor creature go? The party surrounded it. They closed in, tightening the circle. The slime knew it was done for. The party continued to beat it until they finally killed it. After that, they went to the hospital and brought Hikari with them to the dungeon. She wasn't walking. She was lying on a moving bed. When they reached the dungeon, she woke up. I gave her a card. What is this card? It's a high-class servant card. The card of Titana, the healing fairy princess. Titana can cure Hikari's illness. I asked Hikari to summon the fairy. The girl did so. A bright light filled this place, and an immense energy enveloped the area. The energy dissipated, and Titania appeared. The child is also a small child, but a magical child, my friend. Hikari introduced herself, and Titania understood that this was her master. I asked her, my master is sick and needs your power. Can you heal her? Titania examined her and told them, unfortunately, no. At my current level, I cannot completely cure her illness. Everyone felt sad. Their hopes were fading, but Ares said to her, you said you can't completely cure her, right? Titania replied, yes. She said, then you can cure part of her illness, but not all. Titania told them, "Yes, I can do that." Everyone begged her for help, and the lady said, "Okay." She took Hikari's hand, and a huge healing energy enveloped the girl and healed her. Hikari opened her eyes and couldn't believe it. Yes, the girl could finally walk on her own feet, and everything was fine. Miku ran to her, hugged her, and started crying. Hikari thanked Miku for all she had done, saying to her, "You are my hero," and also thanked the others, saying, "You are all my heroes." After that, everyone went their separate ways. On the way, I met Haruka and told her everything that had happened. I told her that the healing magic Titania used would only last for a year. Within this year, they must find a cure, or Titania must learn a stronger magic that can cure any illness. She asked me, "Will you return to the dungeon again?" I said yes. She told me, "Then don't forget our promise." I promised her, "Don't worry, I promise I will return home safely." After that, they arrived at her house. I wanted to confess something to her, but at that moment, her mother came out of the house and called her. The girl left and said to me, "See you later." The next day, I met her again, and the girl asked me, "What did you want to tell me yesterday?" I told her, "I just wanted to say that I will return to explore the dungeon again." I am certainly pleased and believe this is not what he wanted to say, but oh well. Anyway, my team and I have returned to explore the dungeon. This time, Hikari and my simple friends joined. And with that, our story ended. Goodbye. If I were in your place, I would do the same, so don't blame yourself too much. After that, the group of young people decided they needed to go deeper into the dungeon to find a cure and heal their friend. The next day, they returned to the dungeon. This time, they went down to the 10th floor and quickly encountered 3 monsters. I asked Sylphie to sing the Valkyrie song, and she began. The rest of the group joined in. Miku and her creature killed the first monster. Airi easily defeated the second, and Bailey finished off the third. What incredible power! As they were resting, a monster suddenly jumped out of the ground and grabbed me. Lucilia quickly tried to burn it with fire, but Sylphie stopped her, shouting that I would also die, but SFIE quickly saved me with her new skill, causing the monster to release me. Billiard then attacked the monster and tore it to pieces in seconds. Lucilia was very angry with Ballier because he took all the attention. I was very happy and grateful to Ballier for saving me. Next, they went to visit Hikari in the hospital and told her everything. When they left, Miku started crying because she was very sad for her friend. In the car, Eri said to me, "I want to become a hero who can protect the people I love." I felt like I had heard those words somewhere before, but I couldn't remember where. I was on my way home when Haruka called me. At that moment, I remembered where I had heard those words. Yes, he had overheard it from Haruka's father. I quickly picked up the phone and said to her, "I'll talk to you later." He hurried back to the dungeon to find the fastest medicine. He came home and Haruka saw him return. He looked extremely tired. After a quick bath, his mother said to him, "You've been working too late lately. Don't get exhausted, and you need to study." He said, "It's okay, Mom. Everything has been resolved." The next morning, I was late for school due to extreme fatigue. The school reprimanded me, and I sat down. My friends, who were planning to visit Hikari with a gift from Haruka, found me. They asked, "Aren't you coming with us?" I said, "No. I'll go to the dungeon and leave." The boys visited Hikari and played games with her. She is a super expert at all games, but she suddenly coughed, so they let her rest. She thanked them for Haruka's gift, but she was sad that Haruka hadn't visited her. The boys tried to hide the reason, but Hikari realized that Commander Katsuagi was Haruka's father. This is because Hikari's father went missing in the dungeon when she was young. Hikari told them that if he was just missing, he might still be alive. Therefore, I will explore the dungeon until I find my father. After that, Haruka can return to the park. She is truly a good-hearted girl. Even when sick, she still thinks of others. I went to see my friend and sat down to talk with her. I said to her, I'm sorry. I never considered your feelings." She asked me, "What happened to you?" I said to her, "I almost died, and I was very scared." This made me understand Hikari's feelings every time she went into the dungeon, and your feelings when you worried about me. Your father is my hero. I want to be like him. He achieved a lot of fame. But when he disappeared into the dungeon, some people criticized him for not being affectionate. I saw you cry when people criticized your father, but I couldn't do anything. That's why I want to become a hero like him so that everyone knows that Katsuragi is a true hero. But I'm sorry, I can't go back there. I don't have enough courage to continue on this path. But she said to me, no, you're wrong. You did all of that for me. And that made me happy. But now it's different. You are doing this for Hikari. My father always told me what the meaning of a true hero is. A true hero protects everyone and sacrifices themselves for others. Being a hero means doing everything you can for others. And you are a hero, you know. Hikari's hero and my hero too. Honestly, I'm scared for you in the dungeon, but I know I'll regret it if I stop you, and you'll definitely regret it too. So save Hikari, hero. I then said to her, but I don't know what to do. I don't know how deep into the dungeon I need to go to find the potion, and I have no idea which monster drops it. She said to me, just do what you can, and everything will come to you as you wish. The young man regained hope. He took her hand and thanked her. She also took his hand and said, I just want you to promise me one thing. No matter how deep into the dungeon you go, promise me you will return safely. He said, okay. And then it was a truly wonderful scene. The next day I told my friends that they would go hunt slimes. But how will we find it there, they asked. We didn't find the potion on the 10th floor, so how will we find it on the 1st floor? I explained that the floor doesn't matter for rare drops. For example, I found all my rare items on the 1st floor, like Sylphie, Lucilia, and the magic dagger. I didn't find anything like that on the highest floor I reached, so I was stumped looking on the 1st floor. Honestly, if it were me, I would have done the same. The group, along with my 2 simple friends, continued to kill slimes until they were exhausted. I said to them, you guys worked very hard today. But sadly, they know that normal slimes don't drop rare items. But will everything be okay? Of course not. Suddenly, Sylphie sensed something and told me and the others gathered around her. It's a rare slime. Miku wanted to attack, but I stopped her. I said to everyone, we can't let it get away. If we let it escape, we don't know when we'll find another one. The group immediately surrounded it, attacking it from all sides. Yes, the monster was defeated. Lucilia and Sylphie attacked it, and the guys thought it was dead, but the slime was still alive and trying to escape. But where could the poor creature go? The group surrounded it. They moved closer, tightening the circle. The slime knew it was done for. The group continued to beat it until they finally killed it. After that, they went to the hospital and brought Hikari with them to the dungeon. She wasn't walking. She was lying on a stretcher. When they reached the dungeon, she woke up. I gave her a card. What is this card? It is a high-level servant card. The card of Tatana, the legendary healer fairy. Tatana can heal Hikari's illness. I asked Hikari to summon the fairy. The girl did so. A bright light filled the place, and an immense energy enveloped the area. The energy dissipated, and Titania appeared. She is also a small girl, but a magic girl, my friend. Hikari introduced herself, and Titania realized that this was her master. I asked her, your master is sick and needs your power. Can you heal her? Titania examined her and said to them, unfortunately, no. At my current level, I won't be able to fully heal her illness. Everyone felt sad. Their hope was fading, but Iari said to her, you said you couldn't fully heal her, right? Titania said yes. She said, then you can heal part of her illness, but not all of it. Titania said to them, yes, I can do that. Everyone pleaded with her for help, and the maiden said, all right. She took Hikari's hand, and a stream of enormous healing energy enveloped the girl and healed her. Hikari opened her eyes and couldn't believe it. Yes, the girl was finally able to walk on her own, and everything was fine. Miku ran to her, hugged her, and began to cry. Hikari thanked Miku for all she had done, saying to her, you are my hero, and to the others, you are all my heroes. After that, everyone went their separate ways. On the way, I met Haruka and told her everything that had happened. I told her that the healing magic Titania used would only last for a year. Within this year, they had to find a cure, or Titania had to learn a stronger magic that could cure any illness. She asked me, so you were going back to the dungeon again? I said yes. She said to me, then don't forget our promise. I promised her, don't worry, I promise I will come back home safely. Then, they arrived at her house. I wanted to confess something to her, but just then her mother came out of the house and called her. The girl left and said to me, see you later. The next day I met her again, and the girl asked me, what did you want to tell me yesterday? I said to her, I just wanted to say that I will come back to explore the dungeon again. I was naturally pleased and believed that this was not what he wanted to say, but whatever. Anyway, I and my group have returned to explore the dungeon. This time we have Hikari and my simple friends joining us. My story ends here. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Thank you for watching until the end, and see you next time.